This meeting is being recorded.
Well, Judy, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about your artwork. I'm Rajul Shah with Purple Octopus, and we have Judy Clarkson, an artist. You're located in the UK, correct?
That's right, yes.
Located in the UK, Judy Clarkson was a Platinum Award winner in the Cancer Feminine 2022, and also going to be featured with an honorable mention in our 2023 gallery. I don't know if you got that news yet, but wanted to, yeah, your work is incredible. And I wanted to just talk to you today about how how you came to be an artist. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell me about your friend Anne, whom you beautifully painted in your artwork. Just want to hear from you what you in your own words.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things to cover there. Becoming an artist, well, me personally, I'd say I was just born an artist. I mean, I just always drew. I draw my cat when I was a little girl, constantly drawing. I'd write little books, illustrate them. Ended up going to art college at St Martin's in London. I did actually have a sort of break from art after leaving college. I felt a bit it's hard to keep on without a studio, and I started writing a lot, a little bit of short filmmaking, but I always did life drawing. That's always something I really loved doing. And then I met my husband, who's also an artist, and he just said, look, you've just got to start painting again. You know, your work's really good. And so I did. So that was probably about 13, 14 years ago. And now I just sort of paint nearly every day as much as I can. Got a studio. And just that's sort of become my life, really. Anne is actually a friend of my husband's, who she was at college with him, and he'd sort of lost touch with her, but then it's just one of those Facebook meetups, and she knew I was an artist, and she found out her diagnosis of breast cancer, and she just asked if I could paint her, which for me, I mean, that just seems, obviously it's a very emotional thing, and you feel like, oh, this is a really sort of difficult thing that someone's come to me with. But on the other hand, it's a sort of a thing that I would love to paint, because I paint people. My art's about people. It's about trying to convey a real person, as much as a painting can. A lot of my paintings are just people without any sort of health issues, but in a way that's partly I don't get the opportunity to paint the subject that I did with Anne. I painted my brother several times. He's profoundly autistic, and I've found that a very sort of intense experience, because he's sort of, the way he is before a camera is very different. I paint from photos a lot, simply because it's not practical to paint from life. And with Anne, it's well, obviously, as you know, I've done 2 paintings of her. You might hear my cat meowing.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah, she might come and visit us. Hello, honey.
Oh,
Yes.
she wants your attention. She's mad that you're speaking to somebody.
She's all wet.
Oh, hello.
Oh, well, it's raining in London. For Anne to actually ask to be painted nude, showing, in my first painting, the one that won a Platinum Award, showing the post-surgery scar. I mean, I thought it's just really, I don't know if even brave is the right word, it's just really extraordinary that she would be so open, so ready to share what had happened to her. And I just, you know, I was very moved, but it was just sort of exactly the sort of thing I really want to paint,
Yeah.
because it really shows what it is to be a human. Um, I mean, I call it seated woman because I didn't want to just say, oh, it's someone with breast cancer, woman with breast cancer, because we all end up having health problems or mental health issues. We've all got difficulties. So this is a woman facing a particular trauma, one that many women will suffer from. Yeah, so I took a large amount of photos. This one particularly struck me because it's sort of against the classical portrait, and we've got this shadow. We've got the shadow of the window frame on her, and I felt that was quite symbolic, in that she's living in the sort of light and the shadow at the same time. Um, she's got this sort of shadow of illness upon her, and there's this sort of injury that she's now suffering from, which is maybe something a lot of people would want to hide, but she's, because of the sort of person she is, she's, as I say, been open about it. And also, it sort of, for me, it had an element of the crucifix, that sort of suffering, but suffering that something positive can come from, which, I mean, Anne's got incredible courage, of course, but also a piece of art for me and for her is something that's very positive. It's something that, others can see and get something from, partly through the subject matter, but also through the physicality of the painting itself. It's quite a large painting. Of course, a photo can't show all that, but it's a large painting. The paint is really thick, and so it does have a physicality to it. And I think the sheer sort of thickness of the paint has kind of feeling of flesh about it. So I don't know. Have you got any more questions or anything
No,
else you'd like me?
I love your description. What were some of the emotions that you were feeling as you were painting Anne?
Um, when I paint, it's a sort of, for me, painting is something that is not about words. So it's something very instinctive. It's not like I thought, well, I'm going to show her in a particular way. It's more a sort of physical act that I'm involved in. And I'm just trying to feel the person as I do it. So I was just trying to convey her humanity, to be honest. To me, in a way, actually, the operation she'd gone through wasn't foremost in my mind. I wasn't thinking, oh, I've got to show this operation. I just had this image, which I found really inspiring, and I just wanted to bring it to life, really.
Has Anne seen this?
Yes, she has.
What was her reaction?
She really loved it, actually. Yes, yeah. So obviously, it's very good as an artist that you, especially if you're painting someone and they see it. It's what we always want. But yeah, she. I think it gave her what she'd been looking for in being painted.
I think one of the things that drew us into this painting, especially at Purple Octopus, was her expression, her facial expression. Very calm, accepting of her condition. But am I wrong to say that she looks melancholy, or was that a mood that you picked up, or am I totally wrong?
I suppose the mood which I was looking to convey was one, yes, of acceptance and a sort of serenity. But yeah, so there is a melancholy because obviously this is a difficult situation that she's in, and in some of the images she was smiling, but I felt for the subject matter, I wanted it to have a sort of deeper resonance because, well, you can smile when you're in a situation, but I think underneath it, you're not really smiling. You're
Um,
having a lot to deal with.
so here, um, she seems to me um, not as melancholy. Am I wrong?
Um, I wouldn't say there's purposely a different expression. I felt, I mean, again, we took more photos. You can see she's healed, though unfortunately the prognosis is not good. She's sort of in pain. It doesn't look very hopeful, to be quite honest. Um, Here again, I've used the fact there's a shadow there and the title past, present, future. Of course, she's now at a point which most of us would expect to be a lot older when we reach it, but of contemplating, probable death. So I just wanted to have a sort of philosophical feel to it. Again, accepting and just a feeling that, this is something that people do go through and they do face it, and they do sort of have a way of rising above it, I guess, of realizing perhaps what life is and the fact it has to end eventually. So this is perhaps more at that sort of borderline of realizing that you haven't got very long left. So yeah, quite a sort of philosophical and poignant image.
You've painted her incredibly, and I mean, we love. I personally love the colors, especially the hand and the expressions on the face. Your work is incredible, and um, we really appreciate you sharing it with us, and um, we're looking forward to putting it up on our gallery as well. Um, did you feel any different after you painted her?
Um,
I mean, was there a before and after in terms of how you were viewing your art in relation to the condition and in general?
I think it did sort of show me a direction I'd like to pursue in the future. I say because for me, I would. It's not so easy finding subjects, to be honest. But for me, I want to show something in painting that isn't seen generally, and to try and really get the feeling of people's lives and emotions. And it was, as I say, it was sort of an emotional experience, sort of being asked to do these paintings. And um, so I'd say it's a very rich experience, and I'd like to sort of pursue further that line of imagery, um, if I can find suitable subjects, because you can't really ask people, But
Yeah.
there were some to me again that had similar um, physical issues that they wanted to be portrayed. That was something I'd welcome. I mean, as a figurative artist, you sort of always have to show that you can do more than a photograph can. And for me, that's because of the way I use the paint, that I build up the layers, that I try and get an almost sculptural feel. And a very sort of intense emotional feeling into my paintings, which I don't think a photograph can have. So,
I will say that your paintings are they definitely communicate the emotion. That definitely comes through. And I hope that you do find more subjects like this, because I feel that your story of Anne through your artwork is really, it's really beautiful. And also in some ways I feel like educational, because not having experienced this condition myself, your story of Anne and your visual story of Anne has definitely given me some more insight into the emotions of this. So thank you for that. Judy, thank you so much for your time. Really hope that the rest of your day goes well. As I said, your paintings are beautiful, and we can't wait to share them on Purple Octopus with our viewers. So.